Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome again to the Masterpiece Lounge. Please say hello down in the chat as you join in. So, welcome. Be sure to share this broadcast and this segment with your network, some friends, so that it can be a blessing to so many. As always, we love to come and meet with each other. We meet each week, same time, same place here in the Masterpiece Lounge, and we get to just talk, right? We get to share um, about different topics that will help us personally and professionally. And I always enjoy coming and speaking with you. It's always a great time. I am Chrisnatha. I'm a certified life coach, author, and speaker. And we are in the Masterpiece Lounge. So come on in, say hello down in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. It's always a pleasure to have you. So welcome, everyone. Welcome and welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about confidence. We're going to be talking about confidence. Why is confidence so important? Confidence is so important because without it, you can really hold yourself back. You can remain in a stuck place or a stuck, position or a stuck frame of mind, and you're not able to move forward. And that's definitely not something that we want to have to experience or sit in too long, because we have things to do, right? God has called us to do great things. We have responsibilities. We have a difference and we have impact to make, and we don't have time to be sitting around thinking about why we're not good enough, capable, equipped to do the work that God has called us to do. And so that's why it's so important. Self confidence and confidence in God, right? That's extremely important. A few years ago, I read an amazing book called Why Not You? Why Not You? I was part of a group um, Bible study. Then we started like reading books and going over them, so it almost felt like it became like a book club at some point. But yeah, we got together and we read many amazing books, and we'll review them each week. And one of those books that I still have to this day that has been so impactful in my life is Why Not You? Why Not You? And it's 28 Days to Authentic Confidence. So it's set up more like a, not a devotional, but more like self-help slash workbook slash, there's some spiritual foundations and principles shared in there as well. And the author is Valerie Burton, who is an amazing author and life coach. And so the book was called Why Not You? 28 Days to Authentic Confidence. And it's an amazing read. And so if you get an opportunity, go ahead and grab that book wherever books are sold. It's an amazing book. And it truly helped me to see why I am qualified to do all the things that God has called me to do, and how I needed to focus more on the mission at hand, the purpose, and to really identify some strengths that I had on the inside of me that maybe I didn't always pay attention to, that maybe I was told at some point or another in my life that it was a weakness, but it actually is a strength. And so that was such a blessing to me. And I wanted to definitely mention that today. And so, with that being said, let's talk about it. Why not you? Why not you? I think as people, we're really good at showing up for other people in our lives, being the cheerleader on the side, being supportive of others. All of those things are incredible. All of those things are amazing and they're important. And I encourage you to do that, right? But in addition to that, I have also found that people who do that best sometimes, not always, sometimes have a really hard time showing up for themselves. And I often hear the saying, I'm so good at showing up for others. I really struggle with showing up for me. And I know I've mentioned this before, and I'll continue to mention this. We have to start doing belief audits. What do you believe about you? Right? What is the conversations you're having with you about you? Because though you may want the best for yourself, You may end up settling for less than the best because that's what you believe that you can have. That's what you believe you deserve. That's what you believe that is available to you based on your background, where you're from, mistakes that you've made, right? Whether or not you feel qualified enough, right? But I came today to tell you that you don't have to settle. All the amazing things that are happening for all these amazing people around you, why not you? Right? We don't want to walk around with the spirit of envy or jealousy, but we want to celebrate others as we anticipate what God is going to do in our lives as well. There's enough for all of us. This is important because the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. The testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. What does that mean? That means that if God can do something for someone else, surely he can do it for me too. If God can do something for someone else, I have no doubt that he can also do it for me, right? And so that's how we need to look at this. Celebrate others, cheer them on, show up for them, but also show up for you. Show up for you. So, I want to just jump into just one or two scriptures just to kind of show you how important confidence is to God. So it's in the book, right? So so let's look at Hebrews chapter 10 verses 35 and 36. It says, "So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded." You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. God is in the business of keeping his promises to you and I. Don't throw away your confidence, not just your confidence in yourself, your confidence in him, that he does what he says. So don't throw away your confidence. No matter what it looks like, no matter what's happening in your life today, don't throw away your confidence. Show up and show up big, right? It will be richly rewarded. All right. And in Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, it says, For the Spirit of God did not give us a spirit of fear, did not make us timid, right? But gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Power, love, and self-discipline. So we need to make sure that we're operating in our self-discipline to show up and do the things we need to do, showing up in love, right? But also stepping into the power that we have as well. We have the power to be successful. And what does success really mean? It's being in the will of God for our lives, right? And so we have the power to do that no matter what society, media, social media, anybody tells us their definition of success is. We know that success is being in the will of God, is being in alignment with his plan for our lives. Anything less than that is a demotion. And so it's important that we understand that and we keep that in mind when we start to feel the pressures of life, right? Telling us that we're not doing enough or we're not successful, right? In the eyes of other people. So, whether you're feeling down about insecurities, feeling like you failed, feeling like you're not good enough, I want you to know, why not you? You can do this. But we don't want to spend so much time feeling bad that we lose the opportunities that are right in front of us, right? Feel what you're feeling, feel your feelings. But I also want you to be alive in your life. Feel your feelings. Don't live there, don't park there, because it's also important that we are alive in our lives, right? That we're not always just waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. Now is the perfect time because all we have is now, right? So we can have confidence because God is enough. And in Him, we are enough. I'll say it again. We can have confidence because God is enough. And in Him, we are enough. I want you to remember that. I don't want you to forget that. That is an important piece of the pie, right? We have to be confident and remember that God is enough. Because he is enough. We are enough. Why? He lives on the inside of us. I um I attended a church years ago, and I remember one of our pastors saying something years ago that has stuck with me till this day. I will never forget it. It has completely changed my perspective about so many things. And she said, "The kingdom of God is not something that we pull down. It is something that we pull out." I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. The kingdom of God is not something that we pull down. It is something that we pull out. That changed my life. The kingdom of God lives on the inside of you and I. Let that sink in for a second. What does that mean? That means I can do this. So, no, we have to stop trying to do things like this perfection mindset, or we are so filled with fear. And so we're just procrastinating and we're calling it, I'm waiting on God. What if God is waiting on you? Now, time is important, but some of us, if we're honest, we're using God and the fact that we're praying about things as an excuse to not move forward. Why not you? Why not you have the successful business? Why not you have the family that you've been believing and praying for? Why not you be in the best health that you've ever been in, right? Why not you? Why not you? If God has done it for others, he can do it for you as well. And so I want to talk quickly about or mentioned just a few ways to be more confident. A few ways to be more confident. And so I'm going to list about 5 ways that you can start to be more confident, right? All right. So, you guys know I'm always reading articles. And so entrepreneur.com, there was this awesome article talking about confidence. And number one way to begin to be more confident is to not listen to self-limiting beliefs. These are beliefs that are negative and that they may stem from childhood or something someone has said to you, and it's actually negative self-talk, right? But and it's a belief that you have, like, I'll never be successful in my business will never make more than 4 or 5 figures, right? Why do you think that way, right? But because that's what you believe, then that's what you get in return. So we have to do that belief audit so we can change the way that we see things. All right, number two is don't always rely on your memory for accurate information. Let's stick with the facts, right? I remember there was a time when I personally was feeling down and I didn't feel as confident about pursuing a particular opportunity. And what I began to do is I went back, not in my memory, because sometimes our memory does not serve us well and we'll forget things, right? But I went back and I looked at all the conferences I had hosted, all the sisterhood retreats I had planned, all the books that I have had written, all the clients I have served, all of the organizations that I partnered with. I started watching old videos that I recorded, and those videos blessed me. I was so empowered and so encouraged and just motivated to take action, right? After I watched my own videos. Why is that important? It's important because that's how I had hoped other people would feel after watching those videos. And me, after watching it, I was completely encouraged. And so I was encouraged by my own video. And I say that to say, sometimes you got to remind yourself, let me check my resume. Let me remember what has happened in the past. I've done this before. I've done this before. I can do this, right? History shows that I got this. I'm more than capable, right? You got to remind yourself, check your resume, okay? Number three, talk to yourself out of negative self talk. So when you start to say things that are not as nice to yourself, check yourself, right? And I think after as you do that, you're going to be more mindful of that. You're going to catch it more. So when you start to say, I can't do this, you're going to catch yourself now and say, wait a minute, I can do this. I can do this. Right. And so it's important that you begin to notice that you have been speaking negatively to yourself and stop that right in its tracks. Number four is to counter negative thoughts with positive ones. Speak life into your own self, pour into yourself. It's important to have other people to do that for you and towards you, but there's also times where they may not be available or around, and you need to be able to speak life into yourself, right? Number five is to be curious. If there's a new skill, something you want to learn, something you've been thinking about, something that you're thinking, man, I want to know how that works. I want to know, I've always wanted to try this. I've always wanted to break into this new industry. Go be curious, learn something new. It's not too late to learn a new skill. It's not too late to switch things up. It's not too late to reinvent yourself, and it's not too late to try again. So I am encouraging you to start and start today. So those are just a few tips that I wanted to share with you to start exercising these things so that you can begin to feel more confident and believe in yourself, because you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get what you believe, right? So let's check our belief system. So I hope that this was really encouraging and inspiring, but not only that, that it challenges you to activate your faith and to take action so you can begin operating in your authentic confidence. Why not you? Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in the Masterpiece Lounge. I'm Chrisnatha signing off until next time. And until then, be well. Take care, everyone.